Welcome to the Make Me Whole podcast. I'm your host, Josette Rosado, and it's time to talk getting past what's difficult, trusting our own abilities to do more, and keeping it that way. Oh, I know I threw some of you off with that new intro music. I just thought I'd change it up and see what we think about it. I am thinking about what I was presented with over the past couple of weeks in conversations that I've had with clients and just in general about the idea of accepting certain roles in either our community, our families, our friend circle, and what happens when we decide we want to change ourselves or evolve is the word I like to use. So, as a Latina, I think what happens often or has happened often, especially since I have decided to make myself more of the person who I know I am and live that life authentically, I've run into situations where maybe one or two people who thought they knew who I was all about came up to me and said, "You forget where you came from." Where I came from. That would be Bronx, New York, specifically Selwyn Avenue, behind Bronx Lebanon Hospital, if you've ever been to the Bronx. And I lived there steadily for 18 years. And then when I came back from school, college that is, I spent one more year there before I moved out. And ever since then, I have tried to elevate. Of course, I loved where I lived. It's where I grew up. I knew there were 32 steps from the ground floor to my apartment. I knew that there were my grandparents living on both the second and third floors, but I always knew I wanted to elevate, move forward, and do something better than what I was doing. The problem is, no one gave me that direction. No one said, "Hey, it's okay for you to want more." Instead, I was told, "You forget where you came from." What does that actually mean? Does it mean that I was giving up on knowing the struggle, on knowing the idea of hustling and what I needed to do to make a better life? Was it that I was leaving people behind who didn't make their own strides in accomplishing their own goals? I never understood that. And it made me think about the roles that we play when it comes to those around us. For a long time, people watched me. What are you doing? How are you doing it? Let me give you a comment about what I think is the right way or the wrong way. And I no longer live in that space. I honestly say it feels great because I wasn't living by other people's standards. And sometimes that's really hard to break away from. You want to please those around you. You want to feel like people understand you. But when you no longer fit in that role, how do you get through it? How do you allow yourself to be separate from those you thought you never would be? How do you allow yourself to break away from the rest of the crowd when everyone's there and you're the only one who's made the decision to move forward? It's not easy. But just because someone else hasn't elevated, it doesn't mean that we should be provoked into feeling like we're doing something wrong or we're trying to be better than everyone else. That's not what we're doing. This life is given to us so that we could learn how to make the most of it, how to get through those times that are difficult, how to be resilient. And sometimes we get that support. And sometimes we have to figure it out on our own. And usually when you do, that's when you most appreciate the things that you're capable of. The fact that you have decided to be stronger, to be better than you were before. Now, for those of you who are still listening to the voices around you, to the people who make you question yourself or make you feel like you should stay right where you are. I need you to just dig deep and listen to that voice inside of you. The one that says you can be better. The one that says, let's try this and let's not be afraid. Easier said than done, I know. But nothing is impossible. And in doing that, you're going to feel better about what you know about yourself. You're going to feel like you can accomplish things. There will be a new set of people around you who have similar interests, who are doing some of the same things. You owe it to yourself to get in a better space, better place, both in your mind and your spirit. You owe it to yourself to elevate to whatever level you feel like you can. Somewhere inside, those who criticize you, those who ask you if you forgot where you've been, are there where you used to be. And it provokes so many different feelings for them. Instead of making it their business to follow your example, they want to try to put you down so you'll stay where they are. And I'm sorry, but that's just not going to work. My words for this week are elevate, continue that evolution, move yourself in the directions that you think will be best for you. Trust that you've made the right decisions in the past, and those decisions will carry you to the future. I hope that you'll take this episode as a starting point for any of you who are just thinking about making some changes. Thank you so much for your continued support. I am loving all the feedback from everyone. Please be sure to subscribe to the podcast or reach out to us at makemewhole@bossesofbliss.com. You can find us also on Facebook and Instagram at Bosses of Bliss and TikTok at Blissful Boss. Remember, complain less and do more. I'll see you on the next one.